I'd like you to do the same thing on this one. So I'm going to ask that you do the investigation on your own, and then pick back up with the video. So go ahead and pause that. So hopefully you noticed, this is what these graphs looks like. So go ahead and make sure you have some kind of explanation here, and some kind of explanation here for what you think has happened. I want you to kind of guess beforehand and then continue with the video. Of course, you should have noticed that to go from this negative f of x out front, it's as though the graph has flipped over that x-axis, right? It's to go from this to the pink. Again, it's like it's flipped over the x-axis, which means the point that was on the x-axis hasn't moved. But what was 1 is now -1. What was -2 is now +2. In a similar fashion, but kind of opposite as well, when we're talking here of this e to the negative x, it goes across, it looks like it's flipped across this y-axis. What was on the y-axis isn't moving. What was on the y-axis isn't moving. It's just that everything that was over here is now over there, and vice versa. Right? So that's what you should have noticed then, is that if I have a negative on the outside, again, you're changing, on the outside, you're changing y. And if you're changing the y-coordinate, what was positive is now negative. What was negative is now positive across the x-axis. So the word we use is reflect. I'm sometimes timid about flip, just because it's a little bit unclear, but it reflects across that x-axis. Sometimes we call it in the x-axis, through the x-axis, what have you. If you have that inside, then it's changing or affecting in some way your x-coordinate. And if it was a positive x-coordinate, it's now a negative. And if it was a negative, it's now a positive. We should see it reflect again, but this time across the y-axis. Right? So that's